Sylan A's.
Trey Test.
You said Trey Test?
Yes, sir.
Alright, Trey. What's going on today?
Well, got us in trouble with my coach,
Okay.
and he says I have to come here for a while.
Well, you know what we do here?
No, not really.
Well, this is the anger management, prevention center. Really we work with people on their anger, and figuring out situations when you get mad. So, we can handle those better, instead of outbursts or, whatever the case may be. I want to start you off with that. Everything we say here is confidential, so anything you want to talk about, feel open. And the only time I'll have to report something is if it endangers you or someone else. So you can just clear, the coach sent you here, and I was just kind of reading over. I guess you had an incident. Would you like to touch on that for me, please?
Well, alright. We just beat Stanford,
Yeah.
and me and the boys went out.
Congratulations.
Me and the boys went out, hanging out. Everybody's chilling, you know what I'm saying? Got a little rowdy, had a little bit too much to drink, and I got in a bar fight with somebody that was talking mess about the team, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I played football in college too, Trey, believe it or not, back in my day. And, understand, sometimes things can get out of control. What we want to do here is prevent situations, like that from happening. So, when you do get in situations that are hostile, and I understand, from player aspect, you want to defend your team, and just be able to stay calm, work on situations and maintain those, as a team player, because, you're important to the team, got to be accountable, not only for yourself, but for the team as well, because a lot of people look up to you in the community and, on the team. So from there, I'd like to ask you, what are some things that you think, are very, crucial to you as far as like handling your anger?
I mean, I've always been like quick to pop off, like had a short fuse my whole life, like
Okay.
even as a little kid. So I mean, I guess like that would be an issue. But I mean, I was like, I didn't even see it happen. It was just like I was watching it happen. Like I guess you would call it like blacking out or whatever. But I was just like, I came to, and this dude was knocked out, and the cops were there and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it was like the drinking and everything that set me off.
Okay. So is drinking, do you feel you have more incidents while you're intoxicated? Is drinking an issue maybe for you, or do you feel you drink too much, or touch on that for me, please?
I don't feel like I drink too much, but I mean, it was a good night, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we beat a good team, we're having a good time, and I was just trying to cut loose, but obviously that was the issue.
It's never a bad thing, to have fun and enjoy yourself. It's just, you got to maintain that and be controlled in the situation. Okay, so when you go out, can you like give me a startup, usually how your night started, how they usually finish, not particularly this situation, but how have other nights played out for you when it comes to alcohol involved?
I mean, like, before I came to school here, I didn't really drink for real.
Okay.
But it just, I guess, being like a starting player on a good team, like, people buy you stuff, like alcohol or whatever, like, be at the bar, like, even if, like, I go there and don't want to drink, I'm just hanging out, like, I get a beer or a couple shots, like, thrown in my face, and, like, I don't want to look bad in front of the guys and turn it down, you know what I'm saying, because they might think I'm, like, a wuss or something like that.
So do you feel pressure from your peers to drink more?
I mean, I would say so, a little bit, yeah.
So like we could build on you, managing how you feel, and standing up. Because I know that you're a leader, Trey. I've seen it on the field, starting linebacker, I've seen you make plays, I've seen you make checks and reads. So I know that you can be a stand-up guy and say, hey, this isn't me, or, I don't want to do this. So let me talk about, let's talk about, some other instances possibly that you had like anger outbursts or, popped off quick as you said. Is there any other instance that happened here recently, or, you mentioned as a child that you popped off always kind of quickly? Could you give me some examples, please?
Just like on the playground, like small stuff like get hit with a ball or get tripped by somebody. Like I get up swinging like. I'm not a violent person. Like obviously I have to be on the field, but I like to think of like two separate people.
Right.
Like my off the field persona is like getting taken over by like who I have to be on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think if you Trey, you're already a great leader, and we can build on these things. And I think we should start a list to manage your anger and mark how many outbursts that you have per week. Or we can check in with each other. However, right now, first session we kind of just figuring out, what's the problem, what's the issue here. So in the further future, I'm thinking we could set up a checklist. So when you have an outburst, you can write down every time that you've had an outburst. And when we come in, we can talk about the situation. How does that sound to you?
I guess I could work. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to do with classes and ball, but I mean, if this means I can play, I guess I have to. You know what I mean?
As far as now, that's our main goal. Getting you back on the field, getting you back to what you're doing. Because I don't think that you're a bad person. Everyone makes mistakes. You're a young guy in college. A lot of influences going on, and here, anger management. Not only are we here to build your anger, but build your confidence up to control yourself. And be a stronger person. Be that strong person that we know you are on that field. So as far as the checklists go, this is the first session, so no need to feel pressure like you're gonna have a lot on your plate or any extra on your plate. We can build on it. I want you to take a piece of paper home and just write down. If you forget to write down one, that's okay. We're just gonna progress right now and see what we do get out of this first try, the first little template that we use to kind of see and mark your anger.
Okay. It sounds like it would be alright.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Typically how long, people get in trouble off the field, because this is my first, incident, how long does it usually take before they get their spot back and stuff like that?
Well, as far as the football, you can be back in 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Depends on your coaches, how long he wants to suspend you. I can, after 2 weeks, I could talk to the coach and, tell him that, how you're feeling about this or, how you're going through the program. And honestly, I feel like you understand that you've made a mistake and that you've done something that is out of character for you. So I can go talk to him today and let him know that we're going to put you on the program, get you back into practice, get you back into your normal routine, because we don't want to throw you off. This is an incident that can be managed very quickly and handled well. We have to work together, me, your coach, and you as a person and with yourself. So usually it's about 6 weeks, the program, as far as, as a whole, but as far as you getting back on the field, it could be 2 weeks or 3 weeks, just depending on your coach, how we all work together as one.
So you're saying even when I get my spot back, I still have to come in and do all this stuff?
Yeah, just so we can build on it, and if you start to feel like you're progressing faster, then maybe we can work on getting you out of here quicker, because I know you don't want to come in here all the time. You got football and school, big things to worry about, big rings, and we're gonna work on getting you out here as fast as we can. But we want to let you leave with confidence and know that you're that trade test that we know you are.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna have you sign some papers on the way out at the front desk. Miss Joanne will have those for you, and anything else you want to touch on before you wrap this session up?
I guess how am I supposed to know that it's not gonna happen again? I guess.
As an accountability chart, it will hold you accountable for what you're doing. So when you see that you're writing down these things, okay, this is how many outbursts I'm having, this is how many I'm having per week, and you'll be able to monitor yourself in those situations. When you go into those situations, you'll be like, okay, we talked about this. We'll build on, controlling the anger and walking away from situations when people are antagonizing you or doing something, grinds your gears and it makes you feel like you have to pop off. We'll be able to get you to relax and come to a stopping point. When do you feel like you were at most risk to pop off?
I guess obviously when I'm out with the guys, because if I'm in a room studying, there's nobody to pop off to, you know what I mean? Right. So I guess being out hooping and hollering with the fellas would be something that I could avoid. I don't want to cut myself off, because then as a leader, I feel like you should be involved with the guys. So if I just like shut it down and just like be a hermit in my dorm room all the time, and like I feel like they won't respect me because I'm not out with them and hanging out and like getting to know them and being a friend.
I'm getting the vibe that these guys are really important to you, which I know, as a former player that they are. These are your guys, your brothers that you're with all the time. Could you kind of give me, what those guys are like, what they're like to be around, what their personality is, and what their morals and stuff are?
I mean, like I was I was brought up a Christian, and like a lot of the guys like don't have that same background. So like a lot of the stuff they talk about is different than stuff that like I want to talk about and stuff. And like they're like wanting to go out and drink, and like I don't see a problem with it because obviously I've been there too. But it's like we can't have a night like on the Xbox or like hanging out. It's always got to be down the road at the bar. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I want to be a part of it, but like our priorities don't match up, and I feel like I'm going with them more than they're coming with me. If that makes sense.
It does. Do you have trouble communicating your feelings and how you feel about things with them versus how they communicate against you?
I mean, like I've never really been one to like voice my opinion off the field because like I'm like a quiet guy, I guess you could say. Because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Like if I don't want to do something, it's just like that's not me, I guess.
As a leader, our goal is in here to get you off the field to be what you are on the field. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I guess.
Be that leader. You voice your opinion on the field. We don't want you to be afraid to voice your opinion, let people know that you're not comfortable with the situation. And again, this is just the first session, so these are things that we can touch on more as we go through with everything. And now, usually, there's always that one friend that you do feel like you relate to. Do you ever feel like you have some friends that you can relate to or talk to about your Christian values or your beliefs?
I mean, yeah, like my boy Swank on the D line, like we played high school ball together, and we actually got recruited together.
Okay.
So I mean, he's always been somebody that I can talk to because we had the same upbringing, like in high school, middle school, like with our families are really close. Like we had Thanksgiving dinner together, but like because like I'm a linebacker and he's a D lineman, like we never see each other unless we're strapped up on the field. I mean, obviously, then you can't really talk about stuff.
I think that building on a relationship, having communicating with Swank and being able to allow Swank to be maybe more in there, finding time to work with Swank, because it feels like Swank for you, if I'm wrong, correct me, is a good person that you can communicate with and feel support from just because you guys are from the same area, you guys have grown up together, close, you have a bond together, so maybe we could work on incorporating Swank with some time, within your schedule, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Does that sound good?
Well, that sounds great.
Okay.
It gets me on the field, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I told you, that's our main focus here, is to get you back on the field and get you playing again. Anything else you'd like to touch on?
No, just I just hope that my time here like won't be wasted because obviously I'm a busy guy. So I just want to get in, get out, do my thing.
Yeah, and again, when you're in here, our game plan is to get you in and out as fast as we can. But, we want, because we want to work with you, Trey Tech, linebacker of Notre Dame. We want to build you up and have you, that great role model that you can be out there. And we want to do that, with, in confidence in that when you leave this room, you're going to be that leader that we know you can be. And we want to build on that and keep touching on that, as we go through these sessions, because we know mistakes happen in life. Hey, you're young, and we want to make sure that we manage those mistakes to a minimum, small mistakes, so that way we can grow as a person, as an adult, and as a young man. And the season will go on. You'll be back on the field here soon, not much longer. I'll talk to your coach today, and we'll start working on the game plan and work you back on the field and stuff. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. Appreciate you, Trey.
Is there anything else you need from me?
She'll have those papers out front for you. I appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you.
I said you know a lot.